Guess what? Guess what?
Cherylyn Barnsey.
Hi Chuckies, Cherylyn Barnsey. This guess what is from a boy what's called Kane Mengen of my Facebook site, and he's also on my Instagram site as well. You know, he's really gorgeous. He's got all these different pics in his undies, and he's got this real gorgeous plump ass. Yeah, me and Desiree always do a little bit of a perv on it. And he follows all the different sites what I've got, Facebook, Instagram, my Twit site. He clicks subscribe, but his question was on Facebook, and he wants to know how old Desiree was when she found out about the birds and the bees. You know, sex. So I remember when she was about 11, she came to me and she was like, "Mum, where do babies come from?" And I said, "Get out of it, you. I'm not telling you that. Come back later." And so she said, "Please, please." And I said, "Stop asking me." So she left it at that. You know, so then a week or something goes by and I come home after doing the shopping and I walk in and here's Terry and Desiree sitting down. They don't know I've come home, and he's all like, you know, and then the mean spoofs up the girl and And I walked in and I said, "Desiree, I told you to come back later when you're older. You're too young to know this. Get outside, go and play." So she walks out the door and I said, "Would you tell her, Terry? How much did you tell her?" And he said, "You know, how babies come from and 69ers and all that." And I said, "Why does she need to know about 69ers? Are you trying to sell it to her or something?" And he said, "You know, it's all different bits of sex." And I said, "Yeah, well, maybe not for you, not no more. You make me sick to my stomach. What are you telling an 11-year-old girl all about sex for? Do you want to go out and try it?" And he said, "If she knows about it, then she knows all the risks." And I said, "If she didn't know about it, she wouldn't know any better. But now she's put all these ideas in her head." And then a few more weeks go past and I'm cleaning up Desiree's room because she was an absolute dirty little pig, she was. Her room was always a pigsty, so me the arsehole cleans it up again. So I found this diary, like an organiser, one of the kids' ones with the pen in the side of it. So I'm flicking through that and these, you know, did this at school and make sure to do my homework. And then I go a few more pages and here is this horrible list. 69ers, head job, pearl necklace, and I just went red. You know, I could feel the steam coming out my ears, and I just thought, "Terry, you dirty prick." I flicked through a few more pages, and here she is drawing pictures of the lot. You know, these cute little cartoon characters with their dicks and their fannies and all of that. Another time I was having a sleep on the lounge, you know, perfectly sound asleep, and then I hear this bash, 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 bash. I go to the door, here's Linda with Desiree in tears. Desiree runs inside and I said, "What's she done now?" And Linda said, "You know, why don't you ask her? But I do not want her hanging around my Rebecca anymore, and I'm telling the school they're not to be together." And I said, "Hang on a minute, they're just kids." And she said, "Ask her what she's done." So she storms off. And so I go to Desiree and I said, "What were you doing?" And she said, "Doing Fanny Farts." And I said, "What do you mean doing Fanny Farts?" And she said, "You know, Dad told me about Fanny Farts and I figured out how to do it and I was teaching Rebecca and Joanne." So once again, Terry's given Desiree all this information that she doesn't even need, and she's been busted teaching her friends how to do Fanny Farts up and down the street. So I said, "Desiree, listen to me good. You're not going to get the branch, but no more. Anything Dad's told you, don't listen. Forget about it. I do not want to see pictures, lists written in diaries. Do not want your friends' parents knocking on my door telling you're doing all this horrible stuff." She burst into tears and she said, I promise I won't do it." You know, so then I pulled Terry aside at the end of the day and I said, "Why did Desiree need to know about Fanny Farts, Terry?" And he said, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, Rebecca's mum has banned her from hanging around with Desiree because she was doing Fanny Farts. Now, how would she know about that?" And he said, "Oh, well, I must have said it when we were having our talk." And I said, "Why would she need to know about Fanny Farts?" And he said, "Oh, you know, when you're having sex and there's air up there." And I had had it by then and I said, "Terry, shut your fucking mouth. Do not tell Desiree anything anymore. If she wants to know, she can come to me and I'll tell her when the time is right. You're a fucking animal. You're disgusting." So I was dirty with him for weeks, you know, and then eventually we talked about it and he admitted he was wrong and all of that. So then, you know, everything's fine. A couple of months goes past. One of my girlfriends, her kids went to a different school. She was going up to Newcastle and she wondered if I could look after the kids. So I said, that's fine. The older one, he was outside playing with the boys in the street, but the younger brother, Aidan, he was playing with Desiree, and they were having a good time, playing with their toys and playing board games, and then they start to watch The Little Mermaid. The kids are watching the show, I can go and clean the house. So they're watching it, and then I notice it starts up again. I said, all right, I really like this movie. Then it starts for the third time. And so then I walk out and they've got this blanket over and watching the movie. And I said, all right, you kids, enough's enough. The movie's driving me insane. So I ripped the blanket off him. Here's Aidan with his pants down his ankles. Desiree with her hand in his crotch. And I lost it then. And I almost hit Aidan myself. And I said, Aidan, go outside and play with your brother. Now. So he starts crying and pulls his pants up and runs out. And I said, Desiree, you promised. You are a disgusting, dirty girl. So I grabbed her by the ponytail, I reefed her outside and I said, pick your branch. She knew, she didn't try and fight it. She picked a branch and I whacked her. You know, they've got to learn. You know, nothing really happened till high school. I've told that story, but that's how Desiree found out. But, you know, it's all in the past. We all have a laugh about it now. We just hope that Shakira gets a bit of sense in her head. Alright, let's leave it at that. You can add me on my Twit site at Cherylyn Barnes. Hashtag Fanny Farts, mate. Add me on my Facebook site, www.facebook.com/CherylynBarnesAhill for Australia. Make sure you click my Instagram site at Cherylyn Barnes. And make sure you click subscribe so you can see all the other YouTubes what I've done before and all the other ones I'll keep bringing out as well. Alright, chookies, let's leave it at that. Ciao for now, chookies.